Alright, so this is the run, and I find it's actually been like pretty helpful to have a like kinda here's what you're doing message. I've just been going crazy writing messages on this screen. Forgive me. Where I think I am. Yeah, we're in the run. The map has changed a little bit. I'm not gonna like speak too much to it because I'm not sure where we left off, and it's all about to change again. But there's kind of like a few things different with the layout. Like little things that were added, I guess, and just like improvements and like spawning stuff. Because there's like a little bit more verticality than there was before, and so we were having like a few issues with enemies getting like stuck places or enemies getting like stuck places. Like, so for example, you know, I'm fighting a melee dude. What does he do about me if I'm like up here? Oh, he wouldn't fly me. Wait, that's good. So just making sure like there's kind of like, I don't know, I think it may be a bit punishing for places like that right this second, but the overall intent is like you can't just like hide out. The game's just like stupid as shit. It's like, you know, you could just a whole bunch of melee people spawning here. Like, let me go to this other roof, and I'm like totally safe. Like, so there was a lot of effort put into like just general like AI working better kind of thing. There was a ton of stuff that I kind of like found like right after ship, or, like right before, that I was like, oh shit, this is like a problem. This is so like for example, like these dudes right here. This is an idea. It's kind of it's not like totally mitigated. It does still happen. But there's like, ooh, be careful now. Oh, watch out now. Be careful. But there's kind of like some things that mitigate it now. Like A, the spawn algorithm is better, and B, like we have some kind of like features to like basically reposition people. And I think right this second it's a little bit to use like comms terminology, like a little bit like the Angela behind Dwight gif, where you're just like mind your own business and you turn around and they're there. And that like will get better, but I think it's, you know, that is a much better problem to have than like the game challenge being invalidated. Like there've been a shit ton of versions where like people just like run and they're fine forever. And you know, there's like some bad. And like ultimately there should be better tells for when people are being so close to you, whether it's a spawn or reposition. But there was like a lot of things done to kind of like also make the game feel more tense without necessarily being more challenging. Because I think the kind of like granularity of challenge is like ironically a very big challenge in game development. And like, what is the difference between like too hard, too easy? Like, how do you build a kind of hiya! I think it's ironic. Some people just like, all they do is run. But I think, you know, where the game is now, if you can run and it's like hard, I think that's dope. Like, by all means, do a pacifist run. That's sick. But like, it needs to be challenging. It can't just be like ring around the rosy or like any cheese shit. And that's been like a big challenge because like I said earlier, like movement being a big thing. I think right now movement is like really weighted towards like traversal more than like combat movement. And so like there's a lot of things that kind of like fall out from that. And that's like part of the actual like map, the space that you're fighting in. Having these kind of like choices you have to make, and these like positives and negatives that you might gravitate towards based on opportunities the game is giving you. But like, I guess to try to like bring it all home, I think there's been a lot of progress made on the granularity and like challenging without punishing, but like still tense. Like there are more enemies now than like the previous games, and like they're kind of they're just generally like a little bit more numerous, but they're more numerous, but there's more thought into how they like attack. So you notice like old versions of the game, dudes with a gun spawn, all 19 of them take a knee, shoot a perfectly accurate laser that all hit you at the same time. Your keyboard or controller explodes in real life. You know what I mean? Your mom's asking you what the fuck happened. But now it's like they're trying to like cut off the spaces you can try to move, and they're like trying to make sure that they are like spreading out enough to like make a ring almost. But I guess they're more aggressive with positioning than they are with like actual like attacks, and I think that plus the red, plus like some of them, oh shit! Some of them working together is starting to make like the kind of challenge that we want. Had a good run, literally. Yeah, so sorry. Just got in the zone. But yeah, the idea for the enemies is they are all a building block themselves, and they present like a kind of challenge, and like the challenge changes based on like what the composition is and what you have, and like a big part of that is like there's just like raw numbers of like how many are there, how strong they are, when it transitions to another one, and I think all that is like getting closer. I think like there's been a lot of consideration for like I guess like the foundation of the game, and so like before we're figuring out okay what is the enemy that is going to punish like moving really fast, and like what is the best version of that creates a challenge that is interesting for the kind of game we're trying to do versus just something that's fucking annoying. And like how do we facilitate that, and how does it actually like serve the game? Like I think that's the point that we might be at right now, and if not, we're getting close. But there's a lot of ramp up, and I mean even still, like it's just like baseline numbers, like it's balanced, right? Like some designers and some game companies, like they think of this as like it's all like one thing, like it's the balance of the game. And there's been a lot of times where I've kind of felt like there are some aspects of design that are hard to have nailed down before you can really, like, before you know, like, what that balance is going to be. And not in the sense of, like, this is stronger than this, or, like, rock, paper, scissors, but in, like, alright, so, like, a round is 10 minutes, right? Like, to me, that is a great number to start at. Like, we'll change, maybe, but, like, it is a session that feels like you actually played like a chunk of the game without being like, all right, let me clear my calendar, let me put my phone on D&D, like, you know, let me lock the door to my office, my wife leave me alone, like, you know, my kids, I'm gone for a little while, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's satisfying without being, oops, see you later. I am not fixing that bug. But anyway, so like, yeah, there's only like so many, you know, times you can make the game and have it be that point where it's like satisfying and like, yeah, I got my money's worth out of that, and like I want to go again, and without, you know, dipping into that like, oh shit, well I guess we're playing a game of Civ. Like, damn son, better get the fucking risk board out, roll some dice, like. In like latent space, there are these just relationships of like numbers with each other that just kind of like work. And oh shit, I mean that's kind of like music actually. We're not gonna get into all that. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. And I think I'm still kind of finding that as far as like like how enemies are getting at you and like what the general like density of the enemy pool is and like how strong you are expected to be and how much damage you do and like yeah it's just iteration and yeah so I think like all that is better because I think we found like some kind of like foundational things and we've also like fixed just a bunch of like man I can't tell I was like it's so fucking funny because every time I ship a build I'm like yeah there's a heater but then like a few days later, just like playing it or watching it play, oh shit, like, I kind of like was really heads down the week of the demo trying to get this out the door to the point where I just like did not realize how much of that was stacking up just like janky things. Like there'd be a bunch of dudes that like, they just like couldn't target you. Like when I added the thing that there's kind of like a resource that gates how many people can attack at once. Like I didn't really realize that I was like breaking. There was some ways to breaking the game. Like there are people. Oh shit, that's hilarious timing. But there, you know, there'd be like enemies that like they have an attack queued up and then it like fails because I didn't like account for that token system, and they just be in the back like dancing and just like looking stupid as shit, making me feel like this is a hunk of junk or just like general like aggression level. I just found like a shit ton of bugs with NPCs, and like I don't know, it's such a hard game here, right? And I just feel so much better about where it's at. That plus traversal, like the wall jumping stuff is like really working for me if I'm being honest. Like at the end of the day, it really like depends on how people feel about it, and a big part of that depends on like what the game is getting out of it. And so like there needs to be like a few more like reasons to like do some of these things and like reward you for them, so it starts to be that like the fun thing is like aligned with the objective of the game. I think that's gonna be like a I mean it's just an ongoing thing. So I don't think it's in a spot where like the game is a tight loop and you have to do like, you know, there are different ways to play yet, but I think like the foundation is kind of like getting there, and I think, you know, like there is kind of like a challenge and an objective. I just think it's kind of like starting to work in the like way of the game would, instead of just like a piece of software. And honestly, like, that was my bar for the demo. Like, if I had my druthers and like perfect control over how timing was gonna work, like in my life, this would have came. Like, the demo would not have come out when it did. In fact, like I'm not even sure I would be doing this. Like, I would feel like a lot of draw to just like do the grand reveal and just like not till it's like good and like ready and stuff. Yeah, this is like not like super comfortable. Like I don't want the game to die, and you might have missed it earlier in the video, but you got a baby on the way. Married, just like a bunch of life stuff, and it was really amazing to have like a milestone of the degree of like a game is live and playable. You can experience it. That kind of tier. Started like really dipping into like the time that I have. Yeah, I had something else too. Oh, also, I need feedback. Like my like group of like friends and shit. I've just been for like 2 years like hey, is it better if you like this? And it's like just like please play, like hounding people, and I think like there's been so many people that hound me. Like I'm so grateful to every single person I have. It's just a quick shout out. It means like so much to me. But by that same token, like I need like a bigger pool of people that haven't seen things yet, because you can only see something for the first time once, and like all this stuff is gonna be like You know what I mean? Like the tutorial. I need more feedback on the tutorial, like, because most of the feedback I've gotten has been from people that would have known that already. You know what I mean? So, and I also just like, I'm kind of like, yeah. I've asked a lot, I've been given a lot. So now I'm asking for the general to become part of the hyper-Viking rather than, you know, the by default almost such things. So, yeah, it's free. On Steam. And like I'm so serious about the feedback and like wanting to like grow the game like with a community and like I really I work like this, right? And like I was saying earlier, like I put a lot of thought into the foundation and I spent a lot of time. And part of that is being in a position where it is real quick to iterate. Normally like it's like things like hours and even like ones that stuff like can get done like pretty fast. Like I'm talking, I don't know, you know, just like a little like build preview, but like there's stuff where you're gonna be able to like kick the shit out of people, like, send them flying and like make them a projectile, and like things that like really change how you play and like are physical in nature or like similar, like stuff that is more than just like numbers increases or like I don't know, things like on-hit stuff. Like there's a lot of on-hit stuff in the game. It's low-hanging fruit. It feels good. It works. It's like in a lot of ways like people's expectation of what a game like this would have to offer. But like I said, it's low-hanging fruit, and there's like so much more to be done as far as like an action layer and like combining things together and just getting like some cool like multiplicative shit. Like I guess that's like part of like the granularity of difficulty too, is like there's not a lot in the game currently as far as like powers go, and they're all kind of like build defining. So like you get a certain combination of things and you're just cooking, and not thinking about some other stuff. And like the idea is like, oh shit, I'm in this game, and like within, you know, I'm focusing on it. And like my angle with that is on hit stuff, to make procs as many things as I can. But watch out. Yeah, if you hit a missile on the flying dudes, it breaks their wings. They fall. Is that cool? Anyway. Oh, be careful. Oh, I don't know. Ah. Oh god, it's getting like too intense for me. It's like too hard. Oh god, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, there should be other ways to play, and part of that is like ideas, part of that is surfacing, part of it is iterating. All that is to say, like, there's like no holds barred. Like any ideas are welcome, any feedback you have from anybody is welcome. Good ideas, like, I mean, I don't really like have like, I mean, I try not to, so like if you go about stuff, like if you have a good idea, a really good chance like it ends up in the game, you know what I mean? So I hope there's like this kind of, I don't know, it's like super self-serving to say it about the game that I'm like working on, making, and like, stand to like benefit from. Like I would really like things to be like collaborative and kind of like feel like, alright, here's what's coming out today, and here's why, you know, that thing you guys are complaining about, like, oh, hey, Johnny Bomber, his idea made it in the game. Look at this shit, isn't this fucking cool? Like, I don't know, and it's, yeah. I don't know, what a journey, right? Like, I don't know, I almost like don't even see the game in front of us that we're watching right now, like, here for sure. I kind of see, like where it's going from here, and like what got solved to make that possible, like, and like why it may or may not work, and like, you know, there's like a bunch of like little bugs and like shit that I'm noticing. Hi, is he? Be careful. Like I don't know, it's just, I think there's like this constant push-pull of like what they see versus what you see, almost. And like having the vision to like get there versus like being able to touch what the experience is like right now, especially like not you, like just as a general like, you know, person playing for the first time. It's just like it's all like back and forth. So yeah, I guess I feel good with the LDR. And yeah, so there's a bunch of like other little things for the demo and like just like little bug fixes and whatnot. I think like a lot of these powers are new. So there's like not an expansive amount. I really wanted to kind of remove anything that was just an attribute character. Because older versions of the game have been pretty like numbers heavy, right? Like, hey, get this for you get fucking extra damage, you buy this, you get +1 damage multiplier, your move speed goes up +5. And you know, there's still some of that, and I think to an extent it's always going to be important. It's like, it's part of theory crafting, it's fun, but like I wanted there to be effects as most of the powers, so instead of like, you know, like +5 damage or whatever, I have something that I just got that gives you more damage based on the weapon heat your weapon has. So, see that little bar right in my reticle. As that is going up, my weapon is doing more damage. I've gone, like the base of 5, so like, it scales, I think like linearly, 1 to 1. So if I have 50%, I do an extra 50% damage. Ooh, shit, look at that. That's a round win from your boy. I don't know. That I don't. Yeah, does it look easy? And, you know, I just got kind of ran around and like talked. I don't know. I hope like, you know. Anyway. But yeah, the idea with powers is like, and once again, yet another thing that I don't think is like super well surfaced, and I've gotten that feedback from people, but the intent with the abilities and the things that you select is to kind of like think a little bit beyond, you know, just like the normal stuff. Like, I think there is a version of this game that ultimately it ends up being the best version, where it's just like pure survivors in more ways than it currently is, and we just lean all the way into like on-hit shit, and like your whole intent is to like get a build that plays itself, essentially. You're like kind of running around dodging shit. I actually think that exists. I think you can do some combination of that with what's available in the game, and I actually don't think it is the best way to play either. Oh shit, yeah, hold on, this is like, so this is, that's a lot of fucking words, that's like hard. That's tough, but your on-hit effects, they can trigger off of any instance of damage. So right now, when you shoot somebody, you can trigger homing missile if you have homing missiles, or ball lightning, which is like the electric version. But when you get this, like any damage you do, not just your gun, will proc that. So like missiles and shit can like proc themselves. And you just get like these kind of like crazy like Ogre Magi type chains where like miss, boom, boom, and shit just explodes. And it's cool. It's cool. I like it. There's a version of the game that is, it's just like that in different forms, right? And I think there's still like a bunch of ways to like play with something like that. You know, like interesting archetypes, let's say. But like I would like there to be, you know, like I want to play like the rogue. You know, I'm gonna just like slash through this huge group of enemies, and I'm gonna like get the ability to refresh my wall jumps, and I, you know, if I frag somebody in the air, because like, yeah, right there, like wall jump, and like somebody whose play style is like more acrobatic and like, you know, they're trying to like strike from the air, or they're trying to like, you know, kick somebody and like all the way up to just like, I don't know, you know, like it's less about like on-hit stuff and like more about like locking down an area. You know, so anyway, I don't think that has been like what I intended that direction to be something that could be like kind of intuited from some of this. but I don't think it's like landing, like based on feedback that I've got. So I have like a few ideas as far as how that can be like better. But I'm just like, I want you guys to know, like, you know, I want whoever's watching this to know that it's kind of like the idea is you are making a build. Your build is intended to be something closer to like a MOBA character or like a Risk of Rain 2 character's kit than just like a kind of pure like numbers theory crafting thing. But like I said, like numbers still have a place. Like you see there's max health and there's like fire rate. Those are like important because like they're an essential part of theory crafting. You know, like there are some cases where the fire rate itself is more attractive. That's the shit I was talking about. Like more opportunities to get a roll delivered on his side than anything else, the stuff that you have. Yeah, so yeah, there's like at least two parts of the problem. There's like having it exist, and then like you know having it be something that people can learn and obvious to them. And then you know the final and easy step of making it actually good is also in there somewhere. Yeah, so bones are here. Feels good. At least I think so. You might disagree. And actually, if you do, like, please, I want to talk to you. Like, I am really encouraging like any sort of feedback, especially the negative. It sucks unless I know it sucks. Boom! Oh, watch out now. Oh, be careful. Yeah. Yeah. Those fucking strats I was talking about, boy. Ah! Ah! Yeah, I'm just gonna like play for a little bit. You don't have to watch. I'd like to thank you for watching. I guess like for next time I'm like I'm doing a much better job of like keeping patch notes and just like really granular list of changes from version to version, so I can kind of do a better job of like, yeah, here's different from the last video or the last version of the game. Yeah, because I have to just apologize. Like, a lot of this is like vibes. So, like, yeah, the vibe on this changed, like this changed. Pretty soon sound effects are going to change because this is very on. Something else I think I'll talk about is flying movement. Because that is another thing I'm proud of, and it is another thing that changed. Now flying movement is like a pretty big fucking investment of like time and tech and energy. It's a real like pain in the ass. So there's a few like heuristics that I think work pretty well that served us in this version. And it's like not perfect. Still, I think like actually animation can help a lot, and like we don't have any flying yet, obviously. Even getting them in like the falling like cycle from on the next version. Yeah, I think it was like important. I'm glad that I took the time, and I'm really pleased with the result. And I got because like part of like making sure the spread of enemies for both spawning and combat. Like as a like an enemy hunter, part of getting that right is like having enemies like be able to like at like no cost at all be able to like keep distance from each other. It like right, so and just like having the friction feel right, like there actually dude, I was thinking dude, it was just like a total blur. Like it was just, I don't know, I go in like these fugue / trances sometimes. Just like tell my wife like do this, like disappear for a little bit and like I'm just I'm just John video game for a little bit, and I just crank for like, I don't know, long days, dude. And yeah, wouldn't recommend it. It's like, yeah, I mean, the industry is really bad. It does get results for some people, but yeah, one downside is you kind of just like forget what you did in some ways, and then you randomly come back to like, oh damn, that worked well. Oh my god, flying. Yeah, so they actually are standing they're using nav mesh to find the ground and handle like coordinates for XY, but they are doing like capture space in 3D like around them to kind of like find a location to go to, so they're not like running the buildings and like they keep distance from each other, but like something still being graded on, obviously, but like part of why I wanted to get flying enemies going and have them be like legit is so you just can't like fucking play. Because you can see there's still like, if your movement is working well enough for you, like you can kind of still like just like move and groove your way through a lot of the 10 minutes. Like obviously not the ideal way to play. And there's like a few like design reason, or there's some stuff coming down the pipe that'll like help and hurt that. I totally forgot. Yeah, you can run forever, but like just the fact that you cannot really be in a space where an enemy flying kind of like can't get to you, or like can't get an angle to shoot you, like it's like super important to have that kind of threat, I guess. Because like, I don't know, a big push with like some of the map stuff that's coming down the pipe is going to be like how do we get more out of that, execute better on it, and like flying enemies. Fuck me. Not my favorite coward. You're not dope. You're not him, you're not me, you're not good. Yeah, this area especially, I think there's probably going to be like enemy encounters designed in the space, so instead of just like one general, set of enemies like there is now, so it's also like a different roster, I would say. Instead of working exactly like that, there's going to be like a per zone version, and this area is going to be black enemies. Like the grenade dudes are kind of cool here too, because they can knock you off, and so like the gameplay isn't just like dodging shots and stuff. Like there are ways to fuck you up that aren't direct damage, and I'm really excited about it. I like the different kinds of challenges there can be. Really important and healthy for the game, because it is also giving us like design space. Because like at the end of the day, like design is just solving problems. Like create fun problems to solve, fun ways to solve them. Video games. I did it! Oh my god! I hit. Oh yes, I'm fucking him. Let's go. That's 2 runs up, fucking 2 W's. Yes, I think the game needs some work, everybody. It's too fucking easy. This goddamn boomer was able to just get up here and fucking do the thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that a little bit. Thank you for watching. I hope you play the video game, and if you do, I'll give you my home address so you can write me some mail. And yeah, thanks for taking the time. Hey, last thing. So your stamina, I got like some feedback that your stamina should, you should just like have infinite stamina basically in here. And yeah, so you do, and I guess like long term, the hub is gonna evolve like quite a bit. I don't really want to like oversell anything, but like, you know, I've been critical about even some of the games that I worked on for not having like a kind of like safe place to like learn the game and like feel things out before like you layer in all the challenge and like all the nerd shit, you know what I mean? So like a big part of the intent here is that like that is happening. Like I guess like if there was a keyword for this area and like what it is going to be, like safe, like warm, and like I don't know, just like yeah, a place to try things on, a place to like yeah, I don't want to get too into it, but anyway. Thank you for watching. Play the game or don't. And like I just know that my emotional state is going to be like deeply affected either way. So thank you. Bye.